Welcome to the Simple Life Circle webinar. We've put this together to give you a resource to help yourself get through any difficult times you may have been experiencing, or even celebrate the good times. Now, the world has been affected greatly in the last almost year now by the lockdown that we've been experiencing, and that's given people many issues that they struggle to deal with. And as we know, sometimes when we face difficult times, we choose ways to try and deal with that which are not the most effective, and they can have negative impacts too. So we're going to give you some real world, real handy tools that you can use straight away that will help you find some peace of mind. And what effectively gives us the right to do that? Well, I knew from an early age that the outdoors, the countryside, was the best place to help me sort this out when the world wasn't behaving the way that I thought it should. And I would go outside and I would find some space and find somewhere to sit and just be absorbed and become a part of the world until such times I straightened myself out, worked out what I was going to do, and I'd go back into the world and behave as a more fully functioning human being, if you like. So I've always understood and felt that connection. As an adult, so-called, I've spent most of my life in education one way or the other. I've worked in schools, I've worked in colleges, behind the scenes and in the front line teaching, working with children and adults. I've spent 10 years working for the RSPB, it's the Royal Society for the Protection of Birds, as a field teacher, working in schools and taking groups around reserves and just helping them to understand and experience the outdoors. I've spent the last 5 years as a garden designer, helping people to have amazing gardens, but also how to interact with those gardens to make them healing places. And also we've taken people outside to experience the world and understand how to interact with it. And those have been really powerful experiences. I'm also a published author on the subject of using the countryside. So I'm hoping you'll find this useful and really, really helpful. Ross.
Yeah, no, my name is Ross, and with the help of my dad, Simon, I have been brought up around nature all my life. At 13, I walked the West Highland Way, proper walking with a pack. And since then, I've done 4 more long distance walks. I won't list them. I don't want to bore you too much. Now, I've also grown up with the understanding of outside and how countryside can help everyone in any way. And this is all, for me, is a way of helping people to understand and gain knowledge about what the outside can do for them. Thank you.
So, welcome to the Simple Life Circle webinar.
Are you feeling like life is too stressful? Do you feel at the moment that there's so many different things going on at the moment and you can't work out why, and they're starting to build up, and after a little while all those little things build up and then they come out as one big problem? Are you feeling lost? Do you feel like you don't have a purpose? You don't have the ambition to push yourself to find that career that you want or the job that you want? Are you struggling to just find your purpose in life? Do you feel disconnected? Do you feel disconnected from your family, your friends, your loved ones? Do you feel disconnected from the outside world, disconnected from everyone you would normally see and talk to? Do you feel like you're trapped in 4 walls every day, waking up and looking at the same 4 walls and don't know how to get out of that? And after all of those things, do they cause you to feel anxious? Do you feel like all those stresses, that not knowing about where your ambitions lie, not feeling connected with your loved ones, has that then made you feel anxious and brought on your anxiety?
So when we're feeling any of those issues, any of those difficulties, we have an instant reaction. What we tend to do is we'll have a drink. You know, you come home, oh I've got to have a beer, got to have a glass of wine. And you end up having a whole bottle of wine. You end up having 4, 5, 6 beers. And then you fall asleep into a slumber, which actually doesn't refresh you at all. You wake up the next morning feeling rubbish. You might not even really remember what you did when you made that phone call. You might come home and instead of having a drink, you snack. You pig out on packs of crisps. You'll eat bars of chocolate and you'll stack these up one on top of the other. And all they're doing is giving you a quick fix, you know, a real sugar rush with chocolates. And it doesn't last very long. You may come home and think, oh, that's it. Got to smoke, got to have a cigarette, got to have a cigar, whatever that is. And some people will even go to stronger drugs to try and blot out the pain that they're feeling. Another option is to sit down and watch a whole series on Netflix. You know, binge TV is great. Netflix is designed for that. And if you're in control of it, then why not? But when you come home and the world is not working the way you want it to, and you sit down and watch a whole 10 episodes of a program on the TV, it doesn't cure the problem. It just makes it go away for a little while. Quite often, people that are in business, they will throw themselves into the business. They will get loads of work done. They will be operating, sorting out things they haven't done for ages, getting things done, sort them out. But all it does, again, it's great for the business if you're productive, but if it's just keeping you busy, it's not sorting out the problem.
But why it doesn't work? Because it's a quick fix. It's a short-term solution. It is just going to tide you over for now. In the long run, you cannot constantly drink. You cannot constantly smoke. You cannot constantly eat. You cannot constantly watch TV. If you start drinking in an evening, you'll feel better for that evening. But the next morning, you're always going to feel rougher. You're going to have a bit of a hangover. And it's never going to be a long-term fix. You cannot drink alcohol 24/7. It often leads to other problems. For example, again, with alcohol, it is addictive. You then suffer because you're drinking more and more. It's more constant, and it just becomes an addiction more than a pleasure. It can lead to believing you are the problem. And if you're starting to believe that you are the problem, that's where you really need to look at a long-term solution.
It is. When you take all those problems on board and believe that you are the root cause of them, that's far more destructive than the problem itself or that short-term solution if you don't snap out of it. So what are you going to do if you find yourself in that situation? The first and possibly the most important thing is just accept that situation for what it is. You know, you've lost your job. There's nothing you can do about it. You've had a massive argument with a loved one. There's nothing you can do about it. You're not allowed out because of the way the world works at the moment. There's nothing you can do about it. So you have to accept it, because you can only actually control 3 things. That's what you think, that's what you say, and that's what you do. And that's it. So the next thing is to just, right, you need to do something, because actions cure things. You know, by doing things, you'll make your mind think about other things other than the problem. Because if all you do is focus on that problem, that's all you'll see. So do something. Firstly, step outside your back door or open a window and stand outside and actually consciously take a breath of fresh air, because that will make you feel better. You know, it isn't that long ago that we were part of that natural cycle, and your body will remember, and that'll help your mind remember. When you had that breath, look around you. Take note of the scenery around you, whatever it is. Look at the windows, look at the trees, look at the hedgerows, and make a list of everything that you can see. Mentally, if you wish to, but even write it down. That is really, really important. And then go for a walk. Take whatever problem it is and go for a walk, because the physical moving will get that brain working. It will set chemicals going inside you and you will feel better. But when you're out there on that walk, use your senses. Look. We've talked about look. Listen. Are there birds singing? Is the wind whistling around? Are leaves rustling? There's always something going. Could be children in a playground. Could be traffic in the distance. But consciously listen and smell. The outdoors has a smell and it's fantastic. You think about all those smells in your house. They're smells you've brought in from outside. It could be pine forests. It could be out at the beach. It could be the smell of lavender. If you walk into a woodland, the air will change its smell. And when you find some trees, go and touch them because they all feel different. Some are warm, some are cold, some are hard, some are soft. And just stand there for a moment, connected with that tree.
But what else can you do after you've taken those first steps? Plan further activities. Plan to go on walks with friends, with family. Get back to feeling connected with them if you feel like you have felt disconnected from them. Read a book, sit outside in the garden, take 20 minutes of your day and just read a few pages of a book whilst you're outside within nature. Learn to appreciate everything. Appreciate that you may have an outdoor space you can get to. You may have a garden you can use. You may have a window that looks out across some fields. You may have an office window that looks out across a beautiful view. Appreciate those things and give gratitude to having those things. Give gratitude to other people. Bring other people with you on a walk that may necessarily not be feeling their best at the moment. Give them that gratitude. And most importantly, come to the Simple Life Circle as a guest, and we can hopefully guide you through all of the things we've just spoke about.
Thank you very much for watching our webinar. We hope you found it useful and informative. If you'd like to come along to the Simple Life Circle, we'd love for you to come as a guest, and we'll help you to engage with the countryside, to feel connected to our world. We'll help you to understand a little bit about how it works on its own, but how it works as a part of life that you share, that you're a part of. That would be amazing.
The show itself, it runs every Thursday at 7 p.m. and we have lots of topics like nature reclaims, where we get outside into an area which has been taken back by nature and has been left by us, and we show you what's going on there, what's growing through, what's being planted and how that space is now being used. We have dawn stories where we'll get out and we'll film the dawn and show you a little bit of what's going on when the dawn starts. We also have dusk stories that we run when the sun's going down, and we show you what the wildlife is doing when the sun is setting. But all of this can be done from your own house because we're all about bringing the outside in. Now you can contact us to come to a show as a guest at simon@simplelifeltd.co.uk or ross@simplelifeltd.co.uk. Please email us and we'll send you a link on Thursday evening. This is all about bringing the outside in.
Thank you very much.
Never let you go.